and you perceive yourself as being involved in this, even though you have no actual stake in it. My family's in Israel. I'm going back there at some point. I got Jewish guilt like all fuck because I'm not over there. Not that they'd let me serve in the army at my age with the responsibilities I have, but it doesn't matter. So no, IRFAN. Take that accusation and shove it up your self-righteous ass. I am consistent. And you can say I'm not all you want. When a country attacks another country, and they say, and then they take hostages and they say, we're going to do it again, you have no choice. You bomb the living fuck out of them until they have no power to, and you don't stop until they have no power to do it again. Because Israel's first responsibilities is not your people. It's our people. And your responsibilities as a Pakistani is Pakistanians. Or whatever European country you're living in. Whatever it is. Whatever one you have your loyalty to, huh? We'll say it like that. That's nationalism, and if you have problems with nationalism, please go fuck yourself. I know Islamism, after they broke up with Nazism, and they did, when it wasn't working out, Islam left their boyfriend, the Nazis, for the communists. It was pragmatic, I get it. But then again, the communists were flirting with them pretty friggin' hard after Khrushchev died. I have big, strong arm. I hold up hammer. You, come here. You touch it. And of course, I mean, it wouldn't take long at all before, sooner or later, the now single Muslim world was like, I don't think I can touch that big, strong hammer and that big, strong arm when I'm all oily like this. They were shaking their ass. Hey, oh, I got much too much oil. It's all over me. Oh, and I know this is awkward, but I mean, you weren't exactly faithful. It was us together. All those hot nights in the desert, oil coming up out of. And on a personal note, honey, I just want you to know it was really good. And I hope you feel the same way. So yeah. Islam dumped their boyfriend, the Nazis, when he kind of didn't have anything to give them anymore, like a good bimbo, but I got no problem with bimbos as long as they're honest about it. And Islam is a giant bimbo, whore out to whatever, A lot of people, funny that you guys accuse us of that. It's hilarious. I mean, sometimes I kind of wish we were. And then he ran off with the communists and imitate after making, this is funny, you made your motifs and they all look like the fucking Reich Adler, the fucking banners, a lot of them originally were like fucking red and black and white, looked like one of the early Palestinian, Syrian national flags, it looked like a knockoff swastika. It's like the same colors, amazing. So enough of the history lesson. You're either not going to believe that or you already know it and you're going to deny it. I don't know which one. Okay. And an explorer, prosecuted, expelled. Wait. Your values consist of explore why the Moroccan Revolution in 15th. Also explore why the Jews are prosecuted. I think you mean persecuted. And expelled so many times in history by various kingdoms. Okay, this is another thing. You guys are trying to actually, talking about flirting. Now you're flirting with the white nationalists in the West, because you already got the left. And now you're flashing your tits to the right. And they repeat this line all the time. But here's what that line is you just said. If we were persecuted by that many people, we must have had it coming. Because you have nothing on us as a collective. Oh, you'll find individual Jews who did fucked up things. But you want to talk about inconsistent as diarrhea? You'll never let me find a Muslim that did something fucked up, or even 5 or 6 of them, and I'll never be able with you to get away with saying the Muslims did that. Okay? And you know it. And you fucking know it. But you, oh look, some Jews did something wrong. But you don't say some. No. Some, that kind of fucks up what you're trying to do. We're a collective to you. In a way we are. We're a nation. I know you don't recognize us as a nation, but we always have been. We're not a religion, and you tried to do what they all do, and that's gatekeep over what we are. No. You can say whatever the fuck you want. There's nothing we can do about it, but we are exactly what we've always been. We are what we were before the nation was destroyed. I still can't get past that point that you're trying to... You won't actually go right out and say... I'm going back to the beginning up here. You won't actually go right out and say that Jews were not a nation in what is Israel today, when it was Judea, and before that the kingdom of Israel, and Ephraim. You don't go out and say that because you know it'll make an ass out of you. Oh, some Arabs do. You've heard their propaganda and that's what you're kicking, but you're being very careful not to say that. You're simply making fun of the notion by saying the Bible proves it. Well, I already touched that. This is taking too long. Let's run through this. Expelled many times in history by various kingdoms. Why don't you tell me? IRFAN. Maybe you do in the next one. Let's see. Once or twice is acceptable. That repeated constantly, you should ask kingdoms. No, wait, you didn't even say what we did. See, this is another thing. You did this somewhere else too. Oh, you did this with us stealing land. See, in justice, when it comes to justice, whether one is being even-handed or not, you don't just have to have a crime. You have to have a location and a victim. Sometimes you can get away with not having the location, but you have to have a victim. You don't. You don't. Who was the land stolen from, huh? I've put that challenge up to more people than I know. They never make good with it. They start insulting me at that point. What else are they going to do? They're not going to admit them, right? All right. Once or twice, what is acceptable, huh? What is acceptable? What do we do once or twice is acceptable? Maybe I misread it. Explored why the Jews are prosecuted, you mean persecuted, expelled so many times in history by various kingdoms. Once or twice is acceptable, but the repeat... Once or twice of expelling us is acceptable, but repeated, so it's our fault. Huh? And by the way, I think you're going to say the 105 or 109. They probably got that shit from you, huh? By the way, we were not expelled from 100 or more countries. Name them, or shut up, okay? Trust me, like the stolen land thing, when it said name it or shut up, same thing goes for this. Tell me the countries, and then tell me what they expelled us over. Here we go. Ask what is wrong with you, not with others. No. You tell me what I did. You said nothing. You gave me no, you gave me absolutely, positively no crime that we're guilty of. You only said what was done to us and you mispronounced it or misspelled it. Okay. About Hitler and the Holocaust is clear. That was a crime. Aww, you're melting my heart. IRFAN, I mean, you think what Hitler did was a crime? No shit. Why don't you don't really give a shit, though, let's be honest. I mean, hell. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if he would have wiped out the Ashkenazi, it would probably take another 200 years before we got the land back. Because then we would have relied on the Sephardic and the Mizrahi, and they were really not in that kind of position. Of course, if they knew what you guys were about to do to them, they probably would have made themselves be in that position. But the Ashkenazi had acquired talents over those few hundred years up north, and mostly involving money. And then when you guys attacked, well, that German military shit from World War I came in handy too, and Russian. No, we are not talking about this bullshit that's where we're originally from, and I appreciate you Khazaring me after I begged you to do it so many times. Thanks.